Alrighty, we are back. So we just finished doing NAT overload. We're in the same topology. Already got rid of NAT overload. So we're going to do now dynamic NAT. Let me show you how that is configured, and I'll first show you in Notepad. All right. Remember, whether it's static NAT, NAT overload, or dynamic NAT, you still need to do these right here. That you must do. You need to tell the NAT router who's who. Okay. That you must do. So we got the interface out of the way. Now let's go ahead and configure dynamic NAT. So we're going to cheat here a little bit. And this is the difference between, let's say, 5 as an example. If this would be a real router, okay, where you have real active, public active addresses, okay. Let's use whatever, 11, okay. And then you get rid of overload. All right, now, obviously, in this scenario, this is not going to work. Why is this not going to work? Because the public addresses you've been given, all right, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have 7 addresses for people to use, 7 public addresses for people to use to get outside. Well, you're permitting 254 people to use the NAT, okay, and you are pointing to that access list, to that pool, but you only have 7 addresses. You're gonna get a lot of trouble tickets, okay. So if you have 254 people that need to use it, you best have, well, I say 200 people just to run it off. All right, you better have, your 200. Ooh, what IP version am I doing? Your 200 addresses, or the case may be. All right, these are public addresses. They can be anything, right? So you need a range, and this is why dynamic NAT is like static NAT in the sense that you need to do a one-to-one mapping. You still need to purchase. If you have 1,000 nodes on the inside that need to get outside from private to public, you need to match them up with a public IP address as well. So the only difference is that you're not doing a static mapping like this. IPNAT source static private public, IPNAT inside source static private public, and so forth and so forth and so forth and so forth and so forth. Right? That's just crazy. All right, typing that out, or if you're creating a batch file, whatever it is, it's still insane. All right, not to mention not feasible. The same thing goes with dynamic NAT. The only difference is now you create a pool. Yeah, you create a pool of 1,000, 500, 200, however many addresses you require for you to get outside. That's it. So we can't really use dynamic NAT here because we don't really have a whole bunch of public addresses that we can use. But this right here, and this is why I'm leaving Notepad open, is your configuration. All right, for dynamic NAT. You still need to put your, like I said earlier, you still need to tell the router, hey, this is your outside, this is your inside, very important. All right, and then create your pools. You have the same pitfalls. Make sure that the pool matches, all right, in from your pool, from your IPNAT pool and your IPNAT inside source list, okay, that pool matches, case sensitive, and that the list is pointing to the correct list, and that the number of IPs that you have, okay, are enough to meet the needs that you're saying here in your wildcard mask, okay. That is the pitfalls that you need to pay attention to, right? But that's basically it. I mean, we can change this here. We can make it a 240. We can make it whatever it is. As long as they tell you, hey, you got to use so many, you need so many people to get outside, whatever. This is the configuration. These are the things that you need to look at. The number of public IPs versus the number of private IPs you're permitting. If the inside outside, and again, if the pool and the list are matching. But that's it. But you see there, no overload. They're pretty much identical, aren't they? Except that this is a real range, and this is not. This is just one address. This has overload, and this does not. You see? That's all. That's all it is. Okay? All right. So at the end, we were working with the same topology. It was not a big deal. This would be a live environment. You'll be able to do it if you have live public addresses, or we can make up private addresses, but I don't want to confuse nobody with that. All right, this is your dynamic NAT. It's pretty much the same thing, minus what we just looked at. All right, so I guess I'll see you in the next lecture.